Hey, thanks for coming and joining me. It's a rainy day. What better things can you do is maybe ditch the walk today or have a little walk, but do a little bit of indoor stretching, renewing, revitalizing. I think that's kind of nice to do. And things to have on hand if you've got a strap. If you've got a resistance band, a stretchy one, that's good to have too. And if you've got a blanket, or if you don't have a yoga blanket, get yourself a towel, like a bath towel would be great. So yoga blanket or bath towel. And I'm actually going to start using the blanket as my first little tool to check in. And it keeps your feet cozy, right? It keeps your feet nice. So I'm just going to put my feet on the blanket, and that feels kind of comfortable. And depending on your height, it gives you, a different angle in your knee joint here. So you might find that, if you're short, you're a little bit flatter there, but we're like just a little more uh, thighs and belly close together. And let's just check in for a moment. So giving yourself time to do absolutely nothing for the next half a minute, something like that. Just observe your breathing and your posture. And if thoughts start to jump in, one way to keep that at bay is when you see a thought coming in, you could just say the word stop. Mm. All right. I hope that went well for you. It's good to have that little moment just to regroup in your nervous system, calm it down, and observe where you're starting from. So let's begin a little bit of movement, and we're going to do a bit of focus today on your lymphatic system and clearing the space around your neck, your shoulders, your hands, all of that stuff. A very digital world, and we're a little like that. And in fact, give yourself that pose. Imagine this is a pose, and we're in keyboard pose. It's not so great. So we're very like squashed in our heart, and we're going to do a little of the opposite and bring your hands to your chest and think, brush up your heart, brush up your heart, brush up your heart, and think of lifting from this place around your heart. Wow. Already that changes my mood. So that's the interesting point. Posture and mood go together. Let's play a little bit of that with the breath. So you can bring your hands towards your heart. On an exhale, fold in, go into your digital mode. Then breathing in, let your heart lift up. Your hands can gently open. Like the little flower you are. Move with a few breaths, exhaling, folding back in, and inhaling and lifting to the sunshine. We have our imaginations if we don't have reality. Try a few more. Your breath. And I'm picturing like the stem of a flower, like folding down, drooping down under the rain. But as we breathe in, the stem of the flower is lifting to the sunshine. Two more. Hmm. Aha. All right, so a little lymphatic awareness. We are going to brush. I might come a little closer so you can see here. If you can feel your collarbones, and we're going to brush over the collarbones outward so we can think our heart's in the center and our lymphatic drainage comes back in here, and we're just gently unblocking the drain. Keep most of these movements very light. Then we can gently brush down the sides of the neck and into that area. Just very nice. Then you can go all the way from the top of your head, down the back of your head, and into that zone. Feel what it feels like to be stroked. but also two-stroke. All right, lovely. And we can relax the arms and the shoulders. And you could again observe just how does that feel? Maybe a little soothing, calming. Now let's get some movement in the shoulders. And for this, we'll use touch, but you can be a little bit firmer, placing your right hand on your left shoulder and then roll and squeeze your shoulder. And we can think of circulation boosted. We can think of relaxing the muscles, but we're also helping our lymphatic system. That's what keeps us, our immune system healthy. Okay, now let go and begin to circle the shoulder, but let that happen with a little bit more spaciousness, room to move. Great. Okay, now we'll do a little bit of movement to open this way. As you take your arm back, turn your head the other direction. Exhale, flow. So you turn your head the other way and your arm sweeps across your body. Inhale, flow back. So opening that space. And exhale, sweep across. And again. Very nice. We're going to do a little something extra using touch and helping that lymphatic drainage. So what we just did, you can take your arm back and we're going to sweep down the neck. As the arm goes back, sweep down the neck and turn the head the other way. Exhale, arm goes across and squeeze. You can even turn your head a little bit to look over that shoulder. Inhale, sweep down as you take your arm back. Exhale, flip the arm across and squeeze. Two more like that. So you're gently brushing down to the collarbone as you reach back. And back across, turn, squeeze. Let's go back one more time. Stay there. And you can open and close your fingers now. Spread your fingers. And if you want to add a little bit of a nod of the head while you do that, you might even feel, if your hand is still there on your collarbone, that gentle movement of muscles hanging a little underneath your fingers. All right, let's bring that arm across the body, catch it from underneath now, turn your head, pause there, take a breath or two. Great. Let that go. And now for a little milking. You're going to put your hand underneath your armpit and roll the shoulder while you gently squeeze a little bit. So, we have lymph nodes kind of under here. Go very gently. If you've had any kind of, breast cancer, you must be very careful. But we also want to kind of break up any dense breast tissue, which I certainly do have. So I do a little of this occasionally to do that. Great. Then we'll tap the arm while we move it. And gently brush the arm down from to the top of the shoulder to the tip of the fingertips. All right, then we'll do a little compare and contrast. So if you just notice the two sides of your body, how does one shoulder feel compared to the other? You might feel more relaxed on that side, more space between shoulder and ear. Give yourself two lovely breaths. I'm enjoying even a more spacious breath on that side. So pay attention and see what you can see in your body. Shall we do that on the other side? A long journey. I hope a nice journey. So I'm going to take a hand to the shoulder. And there I can feel like the imprint of my hand on the shoulder, feel the temperature. And then we'll squeeze while we roll the shoulder. And I'm thinking lovely fresh flow of blood to the muscles, trapezius muscles. I'm thinking, nice hydration of the tissue. And relaxing feeling of doing it, which I want to not be stressed out. All right, and we can let go of that and circle a bit more and then see if you can get more of a range of motion in your joint. down. Very nice. Freeing up the space. Do what you can do. Each side has a different story, I know. All right, then we'll take that arm back and look the other way. And we can exhale and turn the arm across and the head the other way. And just try that 2 more times with your breath, making some space. Okay, then we'll add the extra touch. If for any reason the touch doesn't appeal to you or it hurts your other shoulder, you can skip it. But what we're getting from the touch is improving our proprioception, our body's sense of itself, how much you use muscles. Do I need this much effort or not? We're improving circulation. And here I'm thinking of draining the lymph a little bit down into the duct that goes just right by your collarbone. So if you start to take your arm back and drain a little down, like you're just slightly scooping down into the collarbone. Nice exhale, then we can squeeze a little and take the arm across and head the other way. Inhale, arm back, a little press down. Sweep it across, a little squeeze. And arm back, gentle. Skin down of the skin there to the collarbone. One more like that. Very nice. And then we can open and close the fingers. Feeling that pull all the way in there. Lovely. Okay, then we'll come back and sweep that arm across, hug it in, turn your head that way, other way. Nice, easy breaths. Great. Let that go, and we'll do a little bit underneath the armpit. So you can kind of feel all of these muscles. Your pec muscles are here, your lats come in from the back. Give a little squeeze and kind of milking in there while it roll the shoulder. Anything hurts, go very gently. Please don't, press anything that's super sensitive. But we're loosening all of those shoulder muscles and kind of cleaning out a little bit around the nodes in the armpit. All right, let's just check that in. Actually, we got to tap a little bit too. A little tap. Move the arm and then brush the arm from the top to the bottom. Super. Let's just check in again. How are we doing? Have we got baggy arms? Let your arms just relax down by your sides. Very nice. It feels so much more relaxed there. And we'll take a breath in and lift the chin up. And exhale and chin down. Inhale, chin goes up. And exhale, chin down. And one more like that. And chin comes to neutral. Turn your head to look over the right shoulder. As you range. Let's turn it to go to the other side. As you range. Head back to center. Let's take right ear to right shoulder. And see if you can lift your chin up a little toward the ceiling. Gently come back and we'll do the same to the other side. So ear to shoulder, but then to get the ear closer to the shoulder, tip your chin up a little bit. Remember to breathe. And then bringing the head back to center. So we're going to expand on that movement here. And you have your trap muscles, from your neck, base of your skull down, and even attaching here a little bit at the front of the shoulder. And we're going to stretch those muscles and your SCM muscles. So if you feel behind your ear, you've got a muscle that goes from there to your collarbones. And if you take an ear to a shoulder, you'll feel, oh, that muscle just shortened while the opposite one lengthened. And then you can do the same on the other side. It's nice. I'm using my finger to do some of the help there. And then just try that one more time. Going gently to each side. And then to center. So we're going to add a little bit more by, can make a little, this sort of shape, like a little beak or a little head or something. And you're going to bring that in towards your neck, in towards your neck. Then take your right ear to your right shoulder and stretch your elbow down. Lift your chin a little bit. And then bring those points back together. So you'll bring your other ear to the shoulder. It's as if you got a telephone in there. You remember the old telephones. Oh, now let's take a nice breath out and go back and take the right ear to the right shoulder. Big stretch down with your elbow. Inhale, bring the two back together. So you're squeegeeing the shoulder together. And then apart. One more like that. Squidge in. You can lift your shoulder a little if you want to. And then take those points apart. Ah, great. Coming back to neutral. So we're getting into this SCM muscle that holds your head on here, basically, or my head might fall off. But again, we get this very shortened when we're a head forward position. So we want to really free that up. So I'm making like a little character's head of something and putting that there. There's a reason, which I'll share in a moment. Okay, so then we can take your left ear to your left shoulder and draw your elbow back a little bit. And then bring those points together, shorten and lengthen them apart. Oh. And right ear and right shoulder squeeze together. And stretch them apart. You can move the elbow a little bit to give a little extra stretch. And one more like that. And stretch. Great, bringing it back into center. Again, just notice how your neck feels. Maybe you feel a little more swan-like. I think I do, actually. I'm at the penthouse suite. And we're going to do just a couple more of the same exercise, but this time we're adding to it. So the little claw or beak or whatever you want to call it, we'll be doing a little nerve gliding here. So we start with the same exercise. You'll tuck in, but then as you take the neck across, open out your hand and pull your fingers down and stretch down with your fingers to the floor. Ooh. Breathe in, hug back in, make your little claw, head to ear, or ear to shoulder, I mean. And then stretch that apart, stretching like taffy, and your fingers stretch down, so all the nerves in your arm get a stretch. And one more like that, gather in, fingers curl, and then stretch it out and fingers are down. Oh, all right, let it go. So hopefully you've got the idea that now we're stretching also into the fingers and into the neck in that way. So begin with the fingers like that. You can hug your ear to your shoulder, curl in, and then stretch it out as you take the ear to the opposite shoulder and your fingers stretch down. Oh, curl back in. Maybe you want to breathe in as you do this. And then exhale and stretch it out like taffy. Oh, fingers down. And one more. Ear to shoulder, shoulder to ear squeeze. And then stretch it away. Ooh. Great, bringing it back into center. Lovely. So we'll do a little more now to make space in the ribs, a little more kind of opening up of the spine, the upper body. Let's start with the right arm, and we're going to make that bigger circle now. I hope we've got room to do that. You're welcome to keep your elbow a little bent. Now we've gone in that plane, we're going to go in the plane that goes this way, like you're painting a rainbow. Correct? And then we're going to offer the tea cakes around and go in that plane. You're welcome to follow the movement with your eyes, right? All right, then we'll scoop it around and come into side bend. You're welcome to also lean in a little bit. Now, flip your palm up and turn up your head. Exhale, head turns down, palm turns down. Inhale, flip it up. Little flowers opening to the sunshine. Exhale, flip it down. And one more, flip it up. And you can just give a little tap to the rib cage that's open there while you hold. Release that all the way back and down. Okay. Do what you can do, by the way. Shoulder doesn't agree. Just go to where you can and create some openness and space up here. All right. So we're moving the shoulder joint in the three main planes that it can move. So could we kind of move it a little back? And again, if anything feels like too much pressure in that range, back off. You can go lower or just not so far back. Can feel there's movement in the ribs, actually. And then we'll scoop and paint a rainbow. We need some sun to add to the rain to get that one. And instead, we can offer the tray of cakes. That's a good activity. But follow with your eyes. So we're also getting the neck free. And one more. Super. Then dip down and around and move into your side bend here. So breathing in, if you can, flip the palm up and chin up. And breathing out, chin down, palm down. Inhale, flip it up. Exhale, turn it down. And then one more to look up. You can stay looking up or down, it's up to you, but we're going to tap onto the ribs, the lower ribs. And you can hear that sound. Lovely. Let that come all the way back and down. Give yourself a roll of the shoulders. We're freeing up that space in there. I know my time doom scrolling and all of those things. Not so good. So we'll do some bigger body movement and then we're going to come back a little bit to the hands and do some stuff for that lower area. But it's good to free up, I think, in other places too. So you can take your feet a little wider and give yourself a circle. And in your circle here, could you also add movement of your shoulders? If you can feel your collarbones moving, you know that kind of lymphatic area is getting a little extra love. Changing your direction. Great. Coming back into center. Let's add some cat and cow and get the whole spine going. But I'm going to add the arms too here. So again, we're thinking of lifting the heart and clearing up this area. All right, so breathe in and arch and open your wings or your flower petals. Exhale, round in and fold your hands over to your knees, chin to chest. Inhale, open up flowers. Exhale, fold in, round your back. Give yourself space for another 3 or 4. Feeling your lovely spine, freedom in your neck. Lovely. Last one. Great. And we'll send the arms all the way up, 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 up. And exhale, fold and see if you can reach all the way down to wherever you can reach. It could be knees, shins, it could be ankles, it could be toes, it could be the carpet, the floor, whatever you got. And wherever you're at, relax your head. So your head is just hanging. Maybe you feel a little stretch to some of the muscles in the back of the neck. Breathe a few breaths into the back body. Lovely. And then stacking the spine to come back up. Mm. Let's open the chest a little more by, if you can, taking your hands either behind you and interlacing or holding the back of the chair. You can actually even lean into the back of the chair if you want to do that. Gives you a bit more support. Actually feels really pretty nice. So interlace if you can. Gently look up. Can you feel your collarbone bones, the sort of shape of your collarbones spread across your chest? Mm. All right, gently bring yourselves back up. Interlace at the front of you. Push your palms out, round your back in, chin down. Nice breath in, bringing the palms toward the ceiling if you can. Looking up if you can. Head to neutral, and then taking the hands across to the right. Just reaching a little to the right, but turn your head to the left and gently nod your head to the left, like you're looking to somebody to your left and nodding. Yes, that would be lovely. Thank you very much. And breathing. Good. Come back to center. And surprise, surprise, we're going to do that to the other side. So lean yourself a little to the left, turn your head to the right, and gentle nod. And you might feel your chin gently press down towards your chest, your collarbone. Again, encouraging that flow back in toward the heart. Lovely. Come back to center. Release those arms. Hopefully they're feeling okay. Give them a shake out. We are going to get ourselves up a little bit. And if you've got that towel, that would be great, or your blanket, that would be great to have. It's just nice. We're going to do a little for the feet. Why not do something for the feet as well? So if you do have shoes on, yeah, actually, let's warm that up. Take a leg and just let's loosen the hip joint. Why not? Because the way to get shoes off is to have flexible hips. So, like, yeah, could I reach my foot and take my shoes off? And let's see, let's circle it out. And I wonder, are you able to get your foot across? And then look, you can take your shoe off right now. You want to take your sock off, you could take that off too. All right, very simple, very sneaky. Shall we do that on the other side? So we're warming up the hip joints, so we're flexible to actually take on and off our shoes and socks and caress our feet, which is very important too. We can circle. And by the way, you also have lymph nodes in the groin, so we're also increasing lymph activity. You tend to have, wherever you have a joint, you'll have lymph. So moving your joints is going to help with all of that. All right, so could you take your shoe or your whatever off? Yes, so I can do that now because I'm flexible. Yay. All right. All right. So just to be prepared, because stuff on the blanket, it's going to be nice if you have your feet without shoes on, just if you can. All right. So let's get up and down. And every time we do this, we are impacting all of these joints. And what we'll do is come down and touch as low as you can, and then think of brushing up and lift your feet, brushing up. So you're brushing the lymph back to the heart. The order of that is a little funky. It should actually go a little to your left, all the way from the feet up towards the left collarbone. Because the legs draining only to the left. Isn't that fun? Ha. All right. Are we opening and closing those joints now that we could comfortably maybe stand up? Let's try it. Wow. Yes. So that's it. Now we can feel the front of the hip joint is nice and open. Let's sit back down again and feel how that closes the hip joint. And then we'll get up and you think, lovely. So we've got a lymphatic flow back up. We can even encourage that. Down we go. Brushing up as you come up. Yeah, and sitting back down. And then we do that one more time. We're going to brush all the way up and a little to the left. Hooray, shake it out. All right, let me arrange myself so we can do some stuff here to get a nice stretch and activity in your feet. So hopefully we've got limber enough that we've taken our shoes off. I hope you have. And I'm going to roll up either a towel or a blanket is going to be rolled into a little bit of a sausage. But that'll give us some depth. You like a bit of depth here. All right, I'm going to put that on the floor. And well, let's see. Pick a side. I'm going to, this is my right side. I'm not mirroring you. I'm going to put the right heel on the floor and the ball of the foot onto the blanket. Then you'll step the other leg over and take a little bend into the leg, just a little bend. Dig your heel in at the back. Ooh, and I'm thinking you should feel somewhere there a nice stretch to the back line of your leg. So we're making some space at the back of the knee. Love it. But why stop there? We could do something else also with the hand. So a little different. We're going to turn the palm up, down, and fingers get a little extra stretch down. So we're multitasking. We should unitask, but we're multitasking. Now I can feel stretched through the forearm as well as the back of the leg. Definitely can feel that. We can let go of the hand, give that a little shake out. And then we're going to bend into the back leg, and you'll get a stretch to a different, deeper muscle. It's less of an intense feeling of stretch, but we're still stretching a deeper muscle. That's kind of nice too. Then we'll stretch it out one more time, straightening the leg. Super. All right, hope you enjoyed that stretch. Shall we do the other side? So simple, heel is on the floor, forefoot is on the blanket, step on over, and start to feel any sensations coming into the back line of your leg. Breathe through it. Breathe and yawn some space. And then we'll also add a little stretch to the fingers. So your palm is displayed. Your fingers are going to be pulled a little down. And the other mind can have two focuses of attention. What's going on down the back of your leg and also the forearm. Remember to breathe. Great. Let that go. Bend into the back leg a little bit. And you'll get a different sensation of stretch. I can feel that also in the foot a little bit. And then stretch it again, straighten it again. Okay, we're going to step back, and this time we'll put both heels on the floor and both 4 feet on the blanket. For a moment, you can wiggle your toes, play piano like you're playing a keyboard, articulating all of the joints of the toes, your phalanges. All right, now it's time to get a bit more stretch along the back line of your leg, but we'll go a little higher this time. So bend into your legs, hands onto your knees, and you're in a squat position. Now feel that you're widening across the base of the pelvis, your pelvic outlet. Your pelvic floor gets a stretch. Squat to where you can squat. And then without changing that alignment in your low back, nice little curve, pelvic outlet widened, begin to straighten your legs. Ooh. Finding the breath, enjoying the stretch. Yummy. All right, we'll press our way back up again. Hope you enjoyed that little stretch. Wasn't that nice? We can also then explore standing on the blanket and testing our balance. So we can stand on the blanket and already you're a little less stable. You might feel that you're, shifting your weight. If you then want to really challenge vestibular system, close your eyes. Breathe. Can you feel those little shifts of weight, a little forward, a little bit backward, and you have to stabilize yourself. That will train your vestibular system if your eyes are closed. Are you breathing nicely, deeply? All right, now you can open your eyes, but we'll circle the right shoulder. And coming into a nice side stretch. So up we go and over to the side. So I love those challenges, getting the intrinsic muscles in your feet and your lower leg working to balance you. And if you can, look up to the ceiling. Ooh. And down to the floor. Super. Scoop that arm down. Hope that went well for you. It's surprising, isn't it, that you lift your head, and that's a challenge to things. So roll your shoulder. See if you can let that arm come up. And over we go in a side bend. Let your breath go flowing, nice and easy. And then if you can, look up to the ceiling and down to the floor. Great. Release the arm down. Hurrah, hurrah. I made that. Good job. We can come off the blanket now. Just notice your feet. Your feet might enjoy like a little bit more sensitivity, more spaciousness, more freedom, which I like. And then we're coming back to our last in sort of lymphatic flow. So we can trace the path of lymph through our body. Why not try that? Because you might like to know that. Lymph is carrying all the junk from daily life and recycling it at the depots of your joints, and then bringing that like plasma back to your heart. So you can, if you can, reach down. If you can come all the way to your feet, great. We're in a squat. And we're brushing from the legs all the way, all the way, all the way up through the center and to the left collarbone. You might try that again. Can you fold? Brush all the way, feeling the body and brushing up to the left. Super. So that's what's happening with your legs. It's all coming back into the left. Kind of freaky, interesting. Then we're going to do a little bit of a swing of the arms while we bend into the knees. So all of these, again, little motions in the joints. Movement helps the flow. Let that arms be like pendulums. So we're releasing tension from shoulders. Great. And then we'll do a swing right and left. And you can turn your head with the swing. And breathing. Lovely. And then if you have the space, empty coat sleeves. So you'll turn and swing the arms. We're getting revitalized, refreshed. Super. All right, then a shake out. Shake out the arms. If you can, you've got support, you can shake out a leg as well, and then shift and shake a leg. So challenging balance, all of that good stuff. Definitely giving ourselves a little lymphatic love. All right, notice your body. Give yourself just 10 seconds, 20 seconds. I bet you feel something more now. Great. So I have a dose of the tingles there. I hope you have that too. So we'll come back to the chair. Super. So we just had a little experiment of the legs. All of that empties back into, if this is my left, so I'm not mirroring you, it is my left. But what about the arms? So you can brush up an arm. If you brush up, this is my left arm. So again, I'm not going to mirror you. Left arm will brush into the left duct or thoracic outlet here, thoracic duct. And then the side of your head and face will also brush into that side. And then the abdomen, the chest will also brush into that side. Yeah. So very nice. That feels very calming, relaxing to me. We'll do it on the other side because that's where it's going to flow. So the right arm flows into the right. You can feel your collarbone. That's where you're brushing. Then we're going to brush the side of the head down into that area. And the face. And then the abdomen into that side. All right. So on your right side, it's only this upper portion of your body goes into the right duct. So we are not symmetrical beings. It's good to know. So we're going to do, just to finish with, a little bit of stuff for the hands. So Open and close your hands, your fingers. And then we'll create a nice wave by interlacing and making a wave formation. So stretching into the fingers, all of the joints of your upper limb, your fingers, your wrists, your elbows, and of course your shoulder. All right, whichever way you did your interlace, open and interlace the other way and do the same thing. And I'll bet that feels different. Am I the only one? I don't believe you. Are we okay? Great. So we're going to do a stretch into your thumbs. And this one is really very powerful, very nice. So I should get a little closer so you can definitely see what's going on. So you have your palm facing yourself. Hold your thumb with your fingers. Now we're going to turn the hand down and turn the thumb as we draw the hand down your sternum, your breastbone. Breathe in and let that glide up and back. Breathe out, turn and pull back a little bit on your thumb. Let's try that again. Breathing in, the hand comes up. Breathe out, hand slides down as you turn and just press. I'm using my other thumb actually in the back of the hand to push in a little bit more. Ooh. And trying that one more time, gliding up. And down, the hand goes down as you spiral the hand open. And just breathe here for a moment, giving that nice little pressure point on your thumb. And feeling the sensation. Great. Bring it up. We're going to stretch the thumb down. Stretch the thumb down while you wiggle the fingers. So really stretching the thumb as much as you can, wiggling fingers. Ooh. Shake it out. So I don't know if you're like me, I could really feel those joints from, technology situations. Okay, we'll do the same on the other side. So you're looking to hold your thumb, and I was actually using my other thumb to push, to twist a little bit more. So if you can. So you're holding your hand up. Then we can spiral the hand. So I'm trying to turn the palm forward while pressing on the thumb back. Breathe in. Hand comes up. Exhale. Press down. Pull the thumb around, opening, trying to open the hand around. And again, breathe in. Exhale. Spiraling. One more. And spiraling it around and just hold it there. Breathe. See if you can really get that nice stretch into your thumb. A lot of sensitivity there. Great. You can let that go. We're going to stretch the thumb down, and wiggle your fingers. Whoa. Go as far as you can comfortably go. Wonderful. Shake it out. And I think we are pretty much freeing this area around the heart. So this whole area, just brush up here a little bit. And anytime that you feel a little low or over digitalized, stop, brush up, and let that flow lift you like a little geyser or something like that. It's a geyser. I'm not sure how you say it. Letting the arms come out, expressive arms. And then gently touching back to the heart. You can feel your collarbones underneath. Breath in, flowing out, looking up. And exhale, hands touch in, chin down. So we can be digital once in a while, but then breathe in, lift up. Let the fingers express. Exhale, you can curl the fingers in a little bit. Inhale, open we go. And then we can wiggle the fingers. We've got abracadabra magic that we can share, and I will do that now by grasping in, and then we can spread out peace and happiness, good weather, sunshine, lots of love, and freedom to express ourselves from our hearts with happy, healthy shoulders, fingers, wrists, all of that stuff. So I hope you've had fun. You can gather in with Anjali Mudra, and I'll say namaste. Thank you for coming and playing with our hearts and all of that stuff.